Bloodwork, ultrasounds, and other routine medical procedures can be less expensive when you have them done in another country. By one estimate, there are almost 1 million Americans doing this every single year.
But that kind of medical tourism, they call it, it also comes with a lot of risks. We've got Dr. Payal Kohli here with us today, 9 News medical expert, talking about it. It's not just outbound, it's inbound. People from different countries come here, people from the States go out looking for different medical providers. A lot of this, I assume, boils down to cost.
Yeah, I think it is. That's the biggest driver, is just cost, convenience, and access. And so if you really think about the reasons why people leave here to go to another country, and I think this reflects the gaps in our healthcare, ladies, as well as the insurance. Out of pocket costs are high, there are procedures that they're waiting a long time for, or sometimes things that are not covered, like fertility treatments, wellness treatments, or plastic surgery, just not covered by insurance. But another thing I think that's happening in our culture is we're thinking of medicine like we think about shopping from a consumer perspective. And so we want the best price, we want the fanciest thing, we want, the VIP package or the spa package or what have you when it comes to medical care. And I think that that's driving part of this as well.
Yeah, I see this and hear about this all the time, Dr. Kohli. So I'm glad that we're discussing it. Are there some procedures that you would say you are more concerned about than others?
Definitely, Sam. So it really depends on really the severity and the extent of the procedure. So anything that requires general anesthesia, you want to think 2, 3, 4 times before doing it in another country. Because if you think about the risks of going to another country, of course, there's a language barrier, there's a lack of follow-up, there's a lack of accountability, right? If something goes wrong, who are you going to go after and how? Because there's different laws in different countries. But there's even medical risks. So, for example, the infectious milieu of another hospital is different than what we have here. So the bacteria that lives in Korea or India or anywhere else you might go are different. They respond differently to antibiotics than they do here. So you pick up an infection there, bring it back over here, it may end up being a big deal.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about that.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Right. You have surgery and then you sit on a plane, it increases your risk of having a life-threatening blood clot go to your lungs. That's called a pulmonary embolism, because surgery makes you more likely to clot. Sitting on a plane makes you more likely to clot. You put the two together and that happens. Not to mention your medical records, what's going to happen in terms of the accountability of what happened over there. So I think there's a lot of risks. You want to be really careful about big procedures. Little things, cosmetic treatments and such, you can probably do with the right safeguards in place.
Okay. You mentioned 2 countries in that last example, and we have a few countries that you say you've seen certain things in these countries more than others. We've got on our list South Korea, very popular destination. Yes. Why are people going to South Korea for procedures? And what are some of the other countries you see like common procedures here?
Yeah, so skincare capital of the world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we think about that Korean skin, and we have this perception not only that they do a really great job taking care of our skin, but also the fact that they have kind of modern technology and accessibility. I've seen a lot of medical tourism to India. So I remember when I last was in India with my cousin, we went to a heart hospital there. And I kid you not, we walked into the hospital. It felt like a Starbucks or McDonald's because they had a menu with all the prices.
That's wild.
And then your doctor consulted with you as you ordered off the menu, but the cost transparency was huge. So you know exactly walking in what something is going to cost you, how long it takes, and what the procedure entails, so to speak. Very different from the way we do care here. But I think it's important to note that people are coming here for medical tourism as well. And in general, when somebody has to leave their country and go somewhere else, I think that's a sign that the system is broken and we need to try a little harder.
No, I like that. That is definitely a sign. Do you have people coming to you that are your clients or patients, I should say, and they say to you, Dr. Kohli, should I go and do this? Is that how common it is?
It is incredibly common, Sam. I have many patients in my practice who've gone and done it. Now, as a cardiologist, we don't really send stuff out because we tend to be kind of the top heart centers in the world. We do a lot of the advanced procedures and such. They're not things that people are doing in Europe or Australia or Asia that we're not doing here. The cost could be an issue, but usually heart stuff is covered. But I'm seeing a ton of fertility treatments, cosmetic things, even things with kids. You're even talking about like organs and tissues and things like that, if you want to get anything revised and things like that. That's happening a lot in other countries. I hate to say it, but there's obviously a black market for transplanted organs as well. Because here there's a very strictly regulated process for who gets an organ, whereas in other countries you can go cut the line and pay the bill. So it's a really dangerous thing. It's a slippery slope. I'm not going to poo-poo it entirely, but I do think we have to be really, really careful, because when you go to a facility, if they're giving you a package, it feels like a vacation package, like those all-inclusive resorts. Run a mile. Look for red flags when they're telling you it's going to be quick, when they're telling you it's guaranteed results, guaranteed baby, guaranteed whatever.
Kidney.
Yeah.
Right? That's all a
2-for-1
dangerous
special.
sign. If they don't let you meet the doctor,
Yikes.
that's a bad
Yikes.
sign as well. And if they don't report their complication rate publicly, these are all scary signs. I don't think I could ever do it. I don't know about you guys.
No, I'd rather be safe. I'd rather spend more money, and I know that's a gift and a privilege, but it's
and
terrifying.
I think people are at a point of desperation when they're doing that. Right?
100%.
But I didn't even mention the risk of HIV, hepatitis, reused needles. So it's just, I think it's more trouble than it's worth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Coley, thank you. We really appreciate your help.